Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the NTSC channel. And recently I did a video on these two cameras here, FPV cameras. The Caddx Turbo S1 camera, what's in the name, and the Runcam Swift Mini. Both very similar cameras, both in specifications and price. Around 30 euros each. At least at the moment I'm shooting this video. Now maybe you don't want to spend 30 euros on a camera, right? Maybe you're building a scratch build plane and that doesn't justify a camera of 30 euros. Maybe you are building a quadcopter that you expect to crash a lot. Yeah, 30 euros of camera, maybe you want something cheaper. Which is exactly what I have here. This camera is actually a little smaller still. And it's a lot cheaper, especially because it's on offer at the moment. It's an Eachine camera. It is also a CCD camera, at least the specs say so. So what I'll do in this video is I'll compare this Eachine camera to which? I'll compare it to the Runcam camera. I'm sure you'd agree that the Runcam camera is a pretty good camera, and we'll compare this Eachine camera to that, to see if it's a valid option, right? At the moment I'm shooting this video, it's less than 10 euros. So really a significant difference in price. I'm sure that you'd agree. So let's have a quick look at the camera itself, this Eachine camera. Okay, this is a very simple camera. The housing at least is very simple. This one has a 2.8mm lens, by the way, where the Runcam and the Caddx camera both have a 2.5mm lens. You can exchange the lens, by the way. If you'd slap a Runcam lens on it, it would probably perform a little better. And one thing of note on this camera, which is important, it doesn't have screw holes at the side of the camera, which makes it a little inconvenient for a lot of quadcopter builds. So this one you'd want to mount with a plastic mount that grips onto the lens, right? Like this one here. And I'll even have a link in the description down below to obviously this camera, but also to that mount, and it's only a couple of euros. So at the rear we've got ourselves a connector, power in and video out, right? 3 connector pins. And it has this little switch over here, which is to switch it between PAL and NTSC. So where both the Runcam and the Caddx, you'll have to decide when ordering them which you want, PAL or NTSC. This one you can simply switch from one to the other. And yeah, on the product page it has a nice sticker on it over here, and yeah, in real life it does not. Oh well, who really cares? Okay, it comes with a cable. It is not a nice silicone cable, that is a shame, but well, it probably will work. And a lens cap, yay. And a little, well, not a real manual, a specifications leaflet. Okay, yeah, again, not a manual at all, a specification leaflet. It's not even completely correct, because it says over here voltage 5 volt. And you can actually power the camera with 5 to 20 volts. The input voltage is, the range is a little smaller than on the more expensive cameras, but still 5 to 20 volts on most builds, that will suffice, I'd say. So in the rest of this here video I'll take you through 3 comparative scenarios in which we'll compare this low budget Eachine camera against the Runcam Swift Mini. A daylight scenario, a semi-daylight, so almost evening-night scenario, and an artificial light scenario. And I'll keep the video cuts a little shorter this time, but I will try and give you a good impression of the differences between the cameras. After that, I'll close the video with my findings Again, I will not sell you on either three of the cameras. You'll have to decide for yourself which is best for you. I will tell you, however, what my conclusion is, or rather what camera I'll be using for what purpose or what build. So hang on for that. Let's first go through the three scenarios here. Here we go. Okay, so that's it, and well, you tell me, what do you think? A low budget camera or a brand camera? What's your fancy? Obviously, yeah, the Runcam is a better camera in almost all circumstances. In one or two very specific circumstances, the Eachine actually did a little better, but even that is debatable, I think. The Runcam is a better camera, period. Okay, it is also approximately 3 times as expensive. So yeah, is it 3 times the camera? Maybe that's not even the real question. I think the real question would be, does your build warrant a brand camera or a $30, $30? Well, a little more, €30 camera. If for instance you are building a quadcopter, what does a custom made quadcopter cost? 150 to 200 euros maybe. You can also make a $400 or a $600 quadcopter, I guess. So yeah, if that's what you're doing, 20 euros more for a camera, yeah, it's your choice, of course. If you are on a budget, I'd say that the Eachine camera is a legitimate choice. It's a reasonable camera. You can FPV fly with this camera, and it's better than a lot of the budget CMOS cameras. So yeah, it does pretty well. You can FPV fly with it, definitely. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to tell you is what camera am I going to be using for what, right? Now I've got a ready to fly airplane coming in, and for that build assembly I'm gonna go with the CADX camera. That might be surprising, but for me the extra advantage of having a OSD in the camera, an in-flight OSD, outweighs the slightly better camera. Slightly. There's not much between these two cameras, in my opinion at least. I'm sure I'll be perfectly happy with this CADX camera in an airplane. And again, the airplane doesn't have an OSD of its own, so yeah, it's nice to see at least that voltage and maybe even the flight time. Oh well, so that's what I'll be using the CADX camera for. The Runcam camera I'll be using for an upcoming quadcopter build, and that build the flight controller itself will already have an OSD, so perfect camera for a quadcopter, I'd say. And the Eachine camera, I'm on the fence. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be using it. Now, that's a bit easy for me to say because, yeah, I have these 3 cameras. Again, if I'd be on a budget and if I'd be building a scratch build FPV plane, yeah, reasonable camera. But still, to that I might have to add that I wear glasses. My eyes aren't the best anymore, so every advantage I can get from a slightly better picture I'm very happy to pay a little extra for. So maybe even on a scratch build plane I'd opt for the CADX camera or the Runcam camera, but well. Yeah, so that's my take. Again, tell me what you think. Don't take my word for it, just look at the comparative video output and make up your own mind. I hope this video helped you out, making a choice between cameras. If you are left with questions, hit me up a comment down below. There are also links to, in this case, these 2 cameras. In my previous video there were links to these 2 cameras. You can find that comparison between these 2 cameras if you just search for CADX on my channel. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.